I always thought I'd be good at playing guitar, but I've never actually learnt, so I jumped at the chance to check out Rocksmith 2014. So over the course of a couple of weeks, my challenge was to see if I could transform myself from this into this. Okay, thanks. After reigniting the music game genre last year with the inclusion of real instruments, Rocksmith have successfully carved out a niche for themselves by combining a learning tool with game elements. Like any good sequel, Rocksmith 2014 improves on this formula by streamlining the experience while cutting loose a few of the weaker features that held the series back from being the ultimate guitar trainer. Just like its predecessor, you'll need an actual guitar on hand to play. You can purchase a bundle that includes the same model guitar as last year, or you can use the USB to jack cable to connect any guitar or bass with a pickup. Depending on your setup, you may notice some lag between your instrument and the game, but this is still an improvement over last year's effort, and there is a slightly more generous hit detection window on the notes. And if you run your console's audio through a stereo instead of a TV, you can almost eradicate the problem entirely. Once you're plugged in and tuned up, there are a number of different directions you can take depending on your skill level. If you're a seasoned veteran, you can head straight to learn a song and pick from around 55 tracks, ranging in different styles and complexity. Obviously, taste plays a big part in how much you're going to get out of these selections, but the mix is varied and should have at least one song that you've always dreamed of mastering. Don't try and dig what we all say. I was pleased to see there's an equal amount of slower, simpler songs to match some of those intimidating technical masterpieces from the likes of artists such as Joe Satriani, which I'm too scared to even go near. Because if you are like me and have trouble telling a fret from a plectrum, then lessons are probably the best way to get a grip on the basics.
Let's learn a couple more chord shapes.
And here they're really well presented with simple video tutorials that allow you to jump to any section at any time. Compared to last year's version, these lessons have been neatly cleaned up and do a great job of gradually increasing the difficulty as you progress.
Good. Now a little faster.
I especially liked how accurate the feedback was, occasionally noting the exact problem I was having before suggesting a way to correct it.
Sounds like your finger is hovering just a little too much. It needs to actually touch the string.
Included with these lessons are challenges, suggestions, and missions that are all aimed at directing you towards the next logical step in your career. And it felt great that the game always had something lined up for me to do next, like a song that used the very technique I just learned. Also to help with these songs is an adjustable difficulty slider and riff repeater that can now be accessed instantly during play. Gone is the forced dynamic difficulty that would hinder any pro players from trying to master a song on hard straight away. I also really like that you can see what notes are actually added as you adjust the slider. Another feature added this year is Sessions, a unique mode that allows you to set up a virtual band that will dynamically play along with you and allows you to improvise your own tunes and practice things like scales. It's a great way to practice without the pressure of scores, and combine this with the multitude of amps and tones for your guitar, and it proves an excellent tool for creating your own sound. Unfortunately, there's no way to record these sessions to playback, which does feel like a bit of a missed opportunity, but it is a welcome addition nonetheless. Speaking of welcome changes, probably the biggest improvement is the game's menu layout, which has had a much needed makeover. Now you're able to quickly navigate between lessons, songs, and settings, as well as shortcuts to an always on-hand chord book and tuner. Add this to the much shorter loading times, and you can see that these basic tweaks make the idea of quickly picking up and practicing all the more attractive. Which is vital when you're starting out and need all the encouragement you can get. Of course, one of the most common points of discussion with the original Rocksmith was that it felt more like a teaching tool than an actual game. Not exactly a criticism, but it was one of the reasons I never actually got round to giving it a shot. Luckily, here they've included a whole heap of new mini-games in the Guitarcade that are unlocked right from the start, and they're a big step up from the previous title. These games take what could feel like dull, repetitive practice routines and transform them into fantastic pixelated arcade classics that work on different techniques. These include exercises such as note sliding as a ninja, a police chase that focuses on scales, and my personal favourite, the House of the Dead inspired Return to Castle Core Dead, where you'll use a rainbow laser infused axe to blast away Walking Dead by playing chords. I spent far longer playing these mini-games than I did in the lessons, which is a testament to how much fun they actually were. So after trying out all of these features, I'm sure the real question you're all asking is, Goose, after just a couple of weeks practicing, are you now the solo thrashing, finger-picking rhythm master of a rock god that you'd always dreamed you'd be? No, not even close. In fact, I'm actually still pretty rubbish. But that's in no way the game's fault. In fact, Rocksmith 2014 is to be commended for making me forget that I was even learning in the first place. As a sequel, this game improves on almost all of the elements in the original, and I'm giving it 8.5 out of 10. Close enough.